Chicago, the Windy City, a vibrant hub of culture and commerce. But beneath the gleaming facade, a different story unfolds. In certain neighborhoods, a palpable silence hangs in the air. Streets once bustling with life now stand eerily quiet. Businesses shuttered, homes abandoned. This is the reality of Chicago's ghost town phenomenon, a direct result of intensified immigration and customs enforcement activity. The fear of deportation has driven many undocumented immigrants into the shadows, leaving behind empty streets and shattered lives. Businesses reliant on immigrant customers struggle to survive. Schools grapple with dwindling enrollment as families are torn apart. The social fabric of these communities, woven together by generations of shared experiences, is fraying at the seams. These are not isolated incidents. They are the human face of a policy that has cast a long shadow over Chicago. The Trump administration's hardline stance on immigration ushered in an era of heightened ICE activity across the United States. Chicago, despite its sanctuary city status, was not immune. ICE raids, often conducted with little warning, became a grim reality for many undocumented immigrants. While the administration initially emphasized targeting violent criminals, the net cast was far wider. Individuals with minor offenses or even no criminal record at all found themselves swept up in the dragnet. The fear became pervasive, extending beyond those directly targeted to encompass entire communities. Parents hesitated to send their children to school, fearing they might be detained on the way home. Families avoided public gatherings, afraid of attracting unwanted attention. The simple act of going to work or the grocery store became fraught with anxiety. Trust in law enforcement eroded, as did faith in the city's ability to protect its most vulnerable residents. The increased ICE activity did not occur in a vacuum. It was fueled by a complex interplay of political rhetoric, public opinion, and shifting legal landscapes. The issue of deportation ignited passionate debate in Chicago, reflecting the deep divisions that exist within the city and the nation as a whole. Public opinion polls painted a complex picture, with support for deportation often contingent on factors such as criminal history and length of time spent in the country. A 2019 poll by the Pew Research Center found that a majority of Americans, 62%, believed that undocumented immigrants who had committed serious crimes should be deported. In Chicago, the debate was often framed through the lens of the city's sanctuary city status. Proponents of sanctuary policies argued that they were necessary to protect undocumented immigrants from unfair targeting and to maintain trust between immigrant communities and law enforcement. Opponents countered that such policies shielded criminals and undermined the rule of law. The political divide on immigration played out in City Hall, in the media, and in everyday conversations. The lack of a clear consensus on deportation created a sense of uncertainty and unease. Section 4. Sanctuary City, Uncertain Future, Chicago's Balancing Act. Chicago's designation as a sanctuary city placed it at the heart of the national debate on immigration enforcement. The city's commitment to protecting undocumented immigrants from federal deportation efforts was tested repeatedly during the Trump administration. The Welcoming City Ordinance, passed in 2006, prohibited city officials from inquiring about immigration status or cooperating with ICE agents unless required by law. However, the Trump administration's aggressive approach to immigration enforcement, including threats to withhold federal funding from sanctuary cities, created significant challenges for Chicago. Mayor Lori Lightfoot, a vocal critic of the administration's immigration policies, vowed to defend the city's sanctuary status and protect the rights of all residents. The future of Chicago's sanctuary city status remains uncertain. Section 5. The Human Cost. A legacy of broken families and lost dreams. Beyond the political rhetoric and policy debates lies a stark reality: the human cost of deportation. Families torn apart, dreams shattered, lives upended. The impact of these policies extended far beyond the individuals directly targeted, leaving a lasting legacy of trauma and loss. Children separated from their parents faced an uncertain future. Some were forced to relocate to unfamiliar surroundings, while others were left behind to navigate the foster care system. For those deported, the challenges were equally daunting. Many were sent back to countries they barely remembered, where they had few ties and limited opportunities. The loss of residents, often breadwinners and active members of the community, created a void that was difficult to fill. The human cost of deportation cannot be measured in statistics alone.